Welcome to Grover Load. Intel has got out their 14900 KS, um, trying to be the top processor again, and I think that's kind of their goal of this, which for the money that they're trying to spend on it, I guess if you got cash to burn in your pocket, you can go out and get it. The 14900K right now, I'm looking at Newegg, is $544, $545 if you run that. And then the 14900KS is $729. So you are, paying almost $200 more on a processor like this to get a slight bump overall in your performance. Now, Intel is, touting you can still put in your old boards, which is true. 24 cores, 8P cores, 16E cores, 6.2 gigahertz. There's 100 megahertz on the Turbo Frequency 3. There's the base and everything else I think stays the same. So what Intel's really kind of did in this processor is allow the power to go up and you get more performance. So I was listening to Bauer today on this, and it's quite impressive how much power they're able to put through this processor. So if you're doing like a Cinebench and stuff like that, the power consumption where you're flooding all the cores and really hitting all the cores hard, can really go pretty high on this processor. Whereas, if you're gaming, it's not going to be that insane power draw all the time. It's going to be higher than, some of the other competitors like the 14900 K and then also the 7800 X3D. I think they'll both be a lot lower in the power consumption because Intel is trying to hit those numbers, hit that performance number on these processors. And in fact, the interesting part too is the rumor on it was that in certain scenario or that delitting would be available for a RMA and stuff. Well, there's a caveat to it. You and I can't just delit it and be qualified for that warranty. But if a third party, like if you went and bought your computer and they delitted it, that is going to be available. I wonder if Intel's just selling them delitted processors. You could put that out there and charge a little bit more Intel, and people might just want to do it that way. Um, Considering how much heat is on these things and how much power is going in them, that can be quite a bit of heat generated. And Intel went through, right, in some of the slide decks I've seen from Intel and that they've released is, yeah, you get a jump up, and they're comparing it to the 13900KS. So if you have that processor, right, you're getting a little bit of jump there. I guess it looks like Metro Exodus you get about 15%. Otherwise, like Starfield, it's only 3%. And they even went and they tested against the 7950X. While that is AMD's quote unquote top of the line processor, it's not their top gaming processor. So you can see Intel, beating out that 7950 in like all around applications, which, that's, oh, Ryzen or Zen 5 should be out here hopefully the next half a year. So AMD, hopefully AMD will want to take that crown. But then I did notice that they did some gaming benchmarks with the 7950 X3D, and the scheduling on that is just stupid. Still is. I don't. AMD's either working with Microsoft or vice versa, and they just can't figure it out on that. Where Intel has the advantage because I believe that they got that scheduler on the CPU to be able to determine that. But in those scenarios, this processor and like other Intel processors are a little bit better. But when you head over and you do and Intel says that they're better, but when you add in the 7800 X3D, Intel did say that they're slightly behind in when compared to that processor. So that's from Intel's own slides. So you can kind of take that as it were, and you'll be able to find those slides and everything else. In fact, do some independent reviews. Hardware's Unboxed was kind of funny. Well-needed vacation for them over there. So you didn't get all your usual testing, but do you really need to have 200 megahertz on this tested and gone through? Well, that's up to you. Now they did announce a few more games, few more verified titles in Intel Application Optimizer, which this is a good thing. I think that this is a improved benefit for people that are playing those games. Now they are specialized, which is always a downside because then you get to have a team working on getting specialized stuff in order to get that into into the software that then gets out to the users. And let's say everyone's done playing the game, then you just wasted a whole bunch of time on that and no one's going to see the benefits. So there is that downside that you have. But seeing something like this can always be an improvement. But getting down to what I think and what I've gone through on this processor, I would like to have the processor test. I don't have the processor test, nor am I going to spend $700 on the processor to test it. I don't see the need to go out and get it. Now, if you're, let's say you're already in the Intel platform and you're just looking for the best processor they have and you don't care about money or anything else, the 14900KS is out there. And like I've mentioned earlier in the video, I do think Intel should just sell it with a full warranty, delidded already for those users that want it. I think that those users understand the delidding process, even if you were to or selling without a delidder, so they would understand what all would have to be done. And you could charge a little bit more and people would be deterred from it because it was deliddered already. And I think that would benefit those users that would want it. Now, if I'm looking at building a new machine today with the motherboard investment and everything else, I am waiting to see what Intel's going to do next. If I want to stay or look at the Intel line, AMD, they're having a release here pretty soon. So, in the next 6 months or so, I mean, Zen 5 has been talked about a lot. So I'd be sitting on the sidelines unless I was, just wanted that upgrade path. I'm already in the platform. I want that extra little percentage, and I, haven't already tried to overclock my 14900K. And I think the 14900KS can actually benefit me, and I can get a little bit more juice out of it. That's about the only scenario that I would really consider this. It just doesn't seem with the power input and how much benefit I'm getting out of it. Why am I dumping all that extra money in for just a few percentage points over the 14900K? That's kind of how I feel. I've spent $700 on a processor, but that was a long time ago now. That was the 1950X from the Threadripper. So it's been a while. I haven't really upgraded since then. Am I in the time for an upgrade? Yeah, but for me, I'm looking at what is AMD and Intel coming out with next, not jumping on a platform that might not be around. Now, if my kids ever wanted, let's say I wanted to upgrade my kids' machine, which they don't need the 14900KS, I would probably look. They don't need the 14900K either. They're on the 12600K. Yeah, I might upgrade them to maybe the 14700 at some point because they're in that up here, the Z690 works well board. But I mean, maybe if I went all out and they did want a game or something else and they get into that later on, maybe upgrade there. But that would be kind of the only scenario. And even then, I'm kind of like, do I spend $500 on a processor that I know my kids will not use at this time? So that's where I'm at. Let me know where you're at on this processor, where you think it is. I get Intel had some, extra time, extra engineering, as able to do this. I think it's interesting feat, right? We're seeing overclock records, and I like that sort of stuff, the overclock records. But I'm trying to get into a scenario where a normal user, just a gamer that wants to game and they're not out there tweaking the machine all the time, pushing it to the limits, this product would be for, right? This product is for those people that want to push it to the limits, have the money for that. and not so much the one that just wants to go and just get gaming. So with that, thank you so much for watching and supporting Gray Overload, helping this channel grow. I really appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, watch another one of my videos, hit the bell icon. It really does help out the channel. Be sure to leave your comments below, and until next time, God bless.